Hi, I'm Jody Davis. Welcome to my sewing studio. Today we're going to show you the Sew Easy lesson for cutting the melon pieces for the pickle dish pattern. Now the pickle dish pattern is pretty challenging. It's like, very similar to the double wedding ring. A lot of people see those patterns and are so attracted to them that they're the first quilt they want to make. Probably not the smartest place to start. But anyway, there are ingenious people like Miss Darlene Zimmerman who come up with tools and techniques that make these even challenging blocks and patterns more easy. And that's exactly what she's done here. She has a cutting set, I've of course taken it apart because I've been using it, for the double wedding ring and the pickle dish. So see, this part for the double wedding ring is also for the pickle dish. And here are the other parts for the pickle dish for all the little parts. What I'm going to show you is how to cut those melon blocks that are just like the double wedding ring for the pickle dish. Let's get started. I made a copy of the pattern and then I've drawn in and shaded with a pencil so that you can see where we're working to begin with. That's the center of the pickle dish. And that's what we're going to cut first. So I just took a pencil and kind of shaded it in for you so you can know where we're going. So as the instructions say, I'm going to start out with a 10 1/4 inch square. There are two sides to this ruler. This side is to line up to your 10 1/4 inch square, which is the square that is going to be the center of your pickle dish. So you're going to line up that for cutting all your squares to make those centers. Then on the other side, there's a place for you to cut 7 1/4 inch strips into your melon pieces that are going to be pieced with all that triangle piecing in the other template collection. And then notice also that Darlene has included this square here, and that's also part of the piecing. So it's just a nice little thing to have because then you have the right size of the squares too. So she's thought of everything. Now the first thing we're going to do is use this with our 10 1/4 inch squares to make our centers for our pickle dish pattern. So let's go do that. So I've got my 10 1/4 inch square, and what I'm going to do is take the edge of the ruler. Of course it says for the 10 1/4 inch square, makes it real easy. And I'm going to line this black line up along that raw edge. And then what you do is you make these edges of the ruler match up with the raw edges of the square. And what I've done is I've put my square on my grid, so that on my mat, so that I know that I'm matching that up. You can really eyeball it, but I just thought I would be extra special careful since I'm doing it for you. So now I take my my rotary cutter, and I just cut off this piece. Now see this little edge here? That's correct, don't worry about it. It is correct, and I'm going to turn it, line that up, and now I'm going to do the next edge. And you'll see now why that little piece is left, why it doesn't go from corner to corner. The reason is that what you need to be able to do is when you sew, you need to be able to sew along here and then sew along there, and that's the point where everything will come together. So in other words, what this is a seam allowance. Now all I'm going to do is just cut the other two. And there it is. I have one pickle dish center. Now that's so much easier than using templates and tracing them around. Instead of tracing, you're cutting at the same time as your would-be marking, so it's much faster. Now on to the melon pieces. Okay, I've got my strip that's 7 1/4 inches, and I go to cut it, and I said, wait a minute, that's only half of a melon. Well, Darlene was very smart, because what she says is just fold that in half and then lay your tool on top. And now I see I've way too much extra here, so I can be a little bit more thrifty with my fabric. Lay your tool on top, line up the black line, and this one lines up with the edges of the fabric, with the raw edges, and then just cut it. Oops. And you will have a melon piece. Yay! And then you can just keep working along the same way. Just fold and put your template down and cut, and you'll have all those melon pieces, and you'll be ready to piece. For more videos like this, go to fonzimporter.com.